you came in here. There's paparazzi taking photos of you. It's a lot. How do you handle the pressure of being photographed for the world to see almost every single time you step outside?
It's really funny because I was thinking about this coming over here, and they were like following me in the car, which is like, it happens all the time. Whatever, like, I know that's going to happen if I'm in LA. There's not very many ways to avoid it. They just sit at the bottom of like my street, so it is what it is. But I was driving, and like sometimes when there's paparazzi following me, I have a flash in my head of like getting out with a baseball bat and literally destroying their car. Like, I literally, sometimes it makes me just so annoyed that I'm like, one of these days, I swear to God, I'm going to get out of the car with a fucking baseball bat and I'm going to like destroy their... This is a hypothetical situation, by the way. Logistical. It's also like, I'm not the only person that deals with this. It's like so many people deal with it, and it comes with the territory, and it's not like... I hate when people are like, well, you asked for this, because it's like, I don't think that's like a real thing to say. I didn't ask for grown men to follow me around with cameras, but I do understand that it comes with the territory.
So many people in the world are fascinated by you and fascinated by your life, and I think the public can kind of feel that from you, of like, you don't like confrontation. Mm-hmm. You rarely will speak out on things if there's drama, which I think so many people do respect you for. But how much does that then weigh on you, of things piling up on you, that it's like, when is going to be a good moment for Haley to just kind of like speak her truth? And you've done it a couple times on the internet, which I think people were like, oh, fuck yes. Like, Haley, let's go, which we're going to get into.
Well, I think based on what you're saying, like, one of the, I think, issues with that is that then you get stuck having to explain yourself for every little thing. And I had to get over that, because I was in a place at one point where I felt like I wanted to like explain the narrative and explain myself, and like that's also exhausting. So if it's like every single time I do an interview, or if I say something and there's going to be something that people are like, why would she say that? Or like, she's wrong for saying that, or that doesn't make sense. You said marriage is hard work. And then I said that, and everybody was like, that's not a good sign if you think that it's like hard. Like, it's like, no matter what I say, I'm always going to have to be explaining myself to people, which is why I actually hate doing interviews where they're like, it's like a blurb of a longer thing that I said that's just so out of context. And then I'm going to feel like I'm explaining myself.
Your husband was in a very public relationship. They were kids. People were obsessed with the idea of them. People were confused on the timeline you're talking about of like, is she a homewrecker? So I guess my question is, Haley, were you ever with Justin romantically at the same time as her?
No. Not one time. When him and I started hanging out, like, okay, let's just put it this way. When him and I ever started like hooking up or like anything of that sort, he was not ever in a relationship, ever, at any point. I would never, it's not my character to mess with someone's relationship. I would just never do that. I was raised better than that. I'm not interested in doing that, and I never was. I think that there are situations where you can still kind of have like back and forth with someone, but even that was not the situation. Like, I can say period, point blank, I was never with him when he was in a relationship with anybody. That's the end of it. I understand, again, how it looks from the outside, and there's a lot of perception there, but that was a situation where I know for a fact that it was the right thing for them to close that door. They were not in a relationship at that time. But of course, there's a very long history there, and it's not my relationship. It has nothing to do with me. So I respect that a lot. But I know that it closed a chapter, and I think it was the best thing that could have happened for him to move on and be engaged and get married and like move on with his life in that way.
One of my last questions on this topic, because I'm just trying to get all of it, just like, let's wrap it in a bow.
Yeah.
So you never have to talk about this again. You're like, yeah, I wish.
No, I literally never will.
No.
I'm like sweating.
At any point, did Justin or literally anyone ever ask his ex to help put an end to the harassment that her fans put you through?
No. What I will say is that she has been in this industry much longer than I have, and maybe there's something that she knows about, like, it wouldn't fix anything.
I think like a nice little heart on your TikTok could end it all.
The thing is too is like I think that like everyone is just trying to like create separation, even though there's clearly like not always separation. I have no expectation. I would never expect someone to do that for me. Like, she doesn't owe me anything. I don't owe, neither of us owe anybody anything except like respect. I respect her a lot. And I think that like there's just no expectations. If that was something that she felt was necessary, then that would be amazing. But I just, yeah, I respect her. There's no drama personally.
Have you guys ever spoken?
Yes.
And then like recently? No, I don't guess not recently, but like after your marriage?
Yes. So that's why I'm like, it's all respect. It's all love. Mm-hmm. That's also why I feel like, well, if everybody on our side knows what happened and we're good and we could walk away from it with clarity and respect, then like,
right,
that's fine.
You've been open about the fact that people in your family have different political views than you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably the most relatable thing we'll talk about on the podcast today. And I think so many people can relate to that. How did you navigate that? Because it can get heated.
Yeah, it was tricky. Especially very personally, like my dad, my parents. It just got to a point where I found that we couldn't discuss it, which I think is okay. I believe what I believe. I am a fully formed woman now. I'm 25, turning 26. I know what I believe in and what I don't. I know what I stand for and what I don't. And obviously it's disappointing that the people that raised you could think so differently than you and have such a different perception that sounds crazy, and you're just like, how did I come from you then? I just don't get this. But it just causes too much disturbance and turmoil and argumentative back and forth that it's just like, it just can't be talked about.
You're not going to change people.
And it's funny because me and my sister have the same exact point of view, which is like nice because at least I'm like, at least I got you. Like,
at least, thank
God. And then my mom, like, I'll try to talk to her about something. She's like, I'm from Brazil. So I'm like, okay. My mom's from Brazil, by the way.
Oh my God.